Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. Thanks for joining me today on Coffee with Kelley. I missed you all last week and I do apologize. However, I was extremely excited. My younger sister got married last weekend and I made a pact to myself to kind of disconnect from social media and be in the moment. And honestly, if you haven't had the chance to do that recently, I highly recommend. Social media I don't think is going anywhere anytime soon, and sometimes it's nice to just be in the moment and take everything in. And so that was kind of my call to action for myself last week. However, now we're back here and today, and I'm excited to be back. Today we're actually going to be talking a little bit about protein. And the reason I was like, what should I talk about today? I was designing a nutrition lecture last week for my undergraduate class and was trying to find an activity for them to watch online as it relates to nutrition and somewhat sports nutrition, and I could not find a solid video online discussing kind of the general foundation for sports nutrition. And so that made my light bulb in my head go off and say, hey, maybe I can work on that. But for now, I wanted to deliver a short, sweet, to the point video over why protein is important as it relates to our health and training, and then we'll just pop over in the kitchen. I'll set the coffee down and we'll make a quick protein shake so you have an idea of how you can incorporate protein into your everyday nutrition pretty easily, efficiently, and it tastes pretty good too. So basically protein, it's a macronutrient, right? Macronutrients are sources of energy for our body, for our daily function. And with protein, protein is comprised of molecules called amino acids, and those are the building blocks for muscle mass, for our lean tissue. Now, whether you're into bodybuilding or figure or just playing sports, or you just want to get healthier, protein is important because it helps us with creating overall a healthier body composition. And when I say body composition, I'm referring to the amount of lean tissue mass we have relative to fat tissue mass. And if we have too much fat tissue mass, that can not be a great thing in terms of our health and overall performance. And so with protein, it is a building block for lean tissue mass, and it also helps our body with other functions as well. But for the sake of today, we're going to kind of focus on building lean tissue mass. And so this is why it's important. Now, there's so much information out there, I think, on the internet as to how much you should have. Is there a certain amount that's too much? Is too little too bad? And yes, we can sit down and do the calculations and do the math, but the reality of it is, the more that I've learned over time, I would rather find something that works for me where I'm not constantly having to sit down and calculate everything that goes into my mouth, and find a way to live life that is healthy, it's fulfilling, and it's also helping me reach my goals. Yes, there are times and places where I will sit down and get a little bit more deliberate and calculated about things. Sometimes it's my food, sometimes it's my distance that I'm running, depending on my goals. But if I am just trying to keep a baseline, for me, I kind of live by the rule of thumb that I try to have protein at least with the 3 major meals I have throughout the day, and more often than not, they're going to be in at least 1 or 2 snacks. For the sake of today, I wanted to talk about post-workout. Hopefully, if you're on my channel, if you're not currently engaged in working out, you're at least thinking about working out. And one of the reasons it's beneficial to have protein after we work out is because our body is susceptible to taking those amino acids, those building blocks from protein, and using them to help rebuild our muscle fibers. And we can even actually stimulate some muscle growth so that we are going to be having more lean tissue mass, and ideally that will help us also decrease our fat mass, which we can go into later on a discussion on body composition. So typically for me, post-workout, I like to have some source of protein. That will either be a ginormous egg white omelet with typically a lot of vegetables, and then I'll usually have a source of a carbohydrate, such as a piece of toast or oatmeal. But on days like today, where I come in, I got home from the gym and I wanted to get to work right away, as well as having a little bit of a sweet tooth, I went ahead and made a protein shake. And these I love because I learned from one of my mentors, Jill Coleman, that you can make these things pretty big and they taste like a milkshake. And again, if you have a sweet tooth like me, anything like that is definitely an added bonus if it tastes good too. So we're gonna cut it off here on the patio, head inside. I'm gonna whip together a protein shake, and then I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on what would be the optimal protein shake for you. So let's head on inside. Okay, so I went ahead and got a head start, and I already actually filled up my blender with ice just to go ahead and make our shake. So one of the things I love, I have a Vitamix, we have a Ninja, but I, for some reason, love this. I think it was like less than $20, Hamilton Beach single serving blender. They're great for making shakes and also helping with portion sizes, and you can just take it to go. So anyways, grab the ice, put that in. Next thing, unsweetened almond milk, Trader Joe's, one of my favorite brands. They're affordable and they have great stuff over there. So if you're close to one, I recommend. So I usually do about 8 ounces of unsweetened almond milk. Next, scoop of whey protein powder. I like whey after a workout because it gets into our system fairly quickly. This I got at Costco for about 40 bucks, and it is a, I want to say 6-pound bag. So it'll last for a while. To make it easier, so you don't have to dig in that big bag all the time, I put the protein in a little Tupperware. Grab your scooper, scoop away. So right now we have our almond milk, our protein powder, and our ice. And then last but not least, I am a fan of nut butter, specifically almond butter. It adds some healthy fat, it helps us stay full, and last but not least, it makes it taste like a little treat. So I'm gonna grab a teaspoon, and we're gonna go ahead and put this in here too. So I usually do like a heaping teaspoon of nut butter. Take that, stick it in there. Okay, so now that our nut butter is in, everything's mixed, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just top it off with a little more almond milk so that it blends okay, because sometimes the ice sticks together. So once you have everything in there, go ahead, grab your lid, and okay, so I didn't want to bore you with the blending part, so I went ahead and blended it. And then last but not least, there you go. So as you can see, it looks like a milkshake. It's pretty thick consistency. Sometimes I'll even eat it with a spoon, so it's kind of like ice cream. But that's it. That's a simple, quick, easy protein shake. There's about 27 grams of protein in the protein powder I used. Again, almond milk, ice, and a little almond butter. Mix it up, blend it, and this is a great post-workout treat that will A, taste good, B, give your body some amino acids so that it can start rebuilding and help you improve your lean body mass. So that's it for coffee, or I guess protein shakes with Kelley today. I look forward to catching up next week. In the meantime, if there's anything specific you want to talk about, definitely drop me an email, Kelley with an EY at kelleybargo.com. Talk to you soon.